Welcome back everyone to Forex in 5 minutes by Limitless Forex Academy. In this video, we're going to go through how to draw structural levels in 5 minutes. So we'll get straight into it. The key difference when drawing structural levels compared to support and resistance, supply and demand is that these structural levels are always going to be fresh highs and lows in the market. So when we're doing supply and demand or support and resistance, they can go all the way back. We can look at historically significant levels. That's not what we're going to be doing as market structure traders. We're going to be focusing on purely recent fresh highs and lows in the market, because based off this strategy, fresh highs and lows, so fresh structure, is what's going to be important when mapping how price can move now. So that's how we're going to keep it nice and simple, and those are the only levels we're going to use. In this video, I'll show you just an example of how to draw lots of structural levels, how to notice lots of fresh structural levels. We're not going to be using all of these levels at once on a chart, because we don't need to be having 10, 20 lines on a chart at any time. We're only going to be generally using 2 or 3 maximum. So let's just get straight into it. Now, when using structural levels, the fresh ones, as I said, we're going to be using the fresh structure of the market, meaning the highs and lows of the market, as you'll know from the basic market structure video. Now, looking at this chart here, we have GBP AUD on the 15-minute. Fresh structural levels, looking at the fresh structure, none of this over here is going to be relevant to us, because price has shown us here in this recent structure that this is no longer relevant. We've had price make new sets of fresh highs and lows. So looking at just fresh structure, as I said, you can see we clearly have a structural high here. Now note that I draw the level to the candle closes, because that is what is significant. We'll link in the wicks, etc. In the later video, but just for drawing the fresh structural levels, I'm going to be drawing them to the candle closes. Now over here you can see we've also got one. Note that some of these levels are going to be tapped twice. I'm not going to though adjust this level up, because this, if I move this up to here, we now have this level offset and it's no longer very clear. So taking in the candle close here to make sure it sits cleanly on both regions, both lows that is. Fresh levels, we've got more up here. I'll click that one off, sorry. Fresh levels, we've got more here, as you can see, tap twice there with wicks. Fresh level up here. This is based off this high, whereas the turning point. Note that all of these levels or structure is all fresh. Nothing needs to be looked back here. If we're drawing levels on every single high and low we see in the market, we're going to have levels absolutely everywhere. I could have levels here, 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 here. It's just not necessary. It's not relevant. You're going to end up with a chart like this, which looks ridiculous and is not possible to trade. So we don't need that. Now, again, as I said, note that these are all the main fresh structural levels I would use. Know that these are all areas or highs where price is pushed down or lows where price is pushed up. We will also get levels that have just been broken. For example, on this push up, price literally just broke structure here. This pushed up as well. Note that this can happen. We can use these fresh structural levels. If we were moving back here a little bit in the market, we would use this level, because this is just broken. This fresh structure is just broken down. But as I said, we're not going to need to use all of these levels. All of these levels are not going to be relevant when looking to take a setup, but just as a basic understanding of how to draw these levels, this is how we do it. We have price drawn on the fresh structural highs and lows. We draw the level to the close of the candles. So that is to the body. And we do take into account the wicks, but we don't draw the levels on in that way. We're going to find out in one of the videos coming soon in the next week or two how we're going to be using those wicks in there as well, to avoid fake outs actually, which is going to be very, very important. So look out for that video. But this is how we draw fresh structural levels. It's incredibly simple. We're not going to have a million lines on the chart like this, as I said, but we're going to use this as our way of understanding how to draw these levels. So if this has been helpful, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.